MAGA world happening online in reaction to that tweet you just mentioned, Claudio, but we're going to leave that aside for the moment. Now we want to go to Father Peter Donahue, a Villanova president. All right, Father, this is a crazy moment, and I want to ask you this. Ever in your wildest dreams, did you think that one of your mathematics and science grads from 1977, Bachelor of Science and Mathematics, would go on to become the first American Pope?
Not in my wildest dreams. No, I never expected it. And I have to tell you that the entire Villanova nation is celebrating this moment. It's an unbelievable event for all of us, and for the American church and for the church at large. He's a wonderful man. He's 2 years behind me in formation, so I know him, and he's a wonderful person, and a great selection, and we are so ecstatic. But it's overwhelming. It really is.
Have you lined up this year's commencement speaker? May you consider sending him an invite?
Yeah, we have commencement next weekend, so it's. But I thought, well, maybe next year I can get him to come over. I don't know. Well, it would be a monumental event in order to do that. But we'll try our best to get him to come to campus someday. So.
So what do you expect from him? He is, the conclave is. They say it's the. It's kind of an evaluation of the Pope past. Where do we want to go from here? Do we want to go in the same direction as the last Pope, or do we want to move into a different direction? I know it's, God is speaking through these cardinals, but there's also men involved as well. What do you think of the decision to take somebody who is more in the Francis mold as the next Pope?
I think that for the church itself, and it really is progressing forward. I mean, there's always, when we speak about the spiritual journey, moving, it's always a movement forward. It's never moving backwards. And I think that the church is always sees itself, although at times it takes a long time to do it. But, the road to God, the road to being a part of God's kingdom is really moving forward. And so to select a gentleman, Leo the 14th, I'm going to have to get used to calling him that, is really a movement of the church to say we need to continue to move forward. I'm sure you've heard, many of your commentators have probably talked about who Leo the 13th was, but he was really the Pope at the turn of the century, at the turn of the 1900s, that really was looking at, the church has to be more progressive, and the church has to continue to move forward, but our faith has to continue to move forward. And so I think he will really be an individual who kind of pushes us to continue that journey forward. And I think it's very exciting. His experience in ministry has been one of missionary work. He's worked in Peru for many, many years. He's been in administrative roles, but he's also been with people, and he has seen poor and rich alike, and he has seen what it means to journey together as Christians in this world. So I'm looking forward to what he's going to do.
The Catholic Church has had a tough few decades here in America. There's a certain amount of broken trust with the sex abuse scandal, financial issues. The church has paid out a lot of money. And the membership in the Catholic Church has declined here in America, in the USA, over the years. What does the church need to do in order to win back those who have strayed?
I think for one thing we need to do is, first of all, ask forgiveness. We're very quick to say forgiveness needs to be offered to people, and we need to ask people for it. Forgiveness for any way that they've been hurt or injured in any way, but also to open the doors and welcome people. The church is for all people. It's a place that all can be united in, and I think it's a matter of really, first and foremost, listening to people, listening to where they are, what they're doing, what their pain is, and what their joy is as well, and being able to celebrate that with them, or also being able to reconcile it with them. So I think the church needs to continue to be a place that opens its doors to listen to people and welcome them into where they are in this journey towards God.
You talked about how the appointment, the election of Leo the 14th is a nod to how we in the world are all moving forward. The church is moving forward. Are there any reforms or changes the church that you believe should make or could make to make it to build back that trust, or to make it so that there are more men who join the priesthood? I mean, would it be getting rid of the vow of celibacy or allowing them to marry? That's been talked about.
You're asking me some very touchy questions. And I really don't know where Leo the 14th would stand on some of them. But I think one thing that Pope Francis did, I think we certainly have to examine the role of women in the church. Yeah. How the church invites women to leadership positions, invites women, and Francis started some of that, and I think that's something that we have to continue to explore and move forward with. Certainly, I think the call to celibacy, the call to being is something that wasn't necessarily part of the church from the very beginning. That rule could change in time, and that would take some. Talking about people much above my pay grade, let me tell you. But it's those are issues that I think everybody needs to, and the church particularly needs to really explore and find out what we're doing and how we're doing it, and where we are as a people.
Father Donahue, I thank you for answering my tough questions, and I congratulate you on having a pope as an alumni. Not many universities can say that. Certainly no American university.
No American university can. So we are the first one. So I look forward to that. Like, who are your famous alums? Well,
yeah,
Leo the 14th.
That's going to be the top of the list. Sorry to everybody else who graduated from Villanova. You are not quite as important. I look forward to next year's commencement address. It'll be a hot ticket, I'm sure.
So do I. I'm going to work on that right now. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. And coming up next, a former classmate of the new Pope joins me with his reaction. More of MSNBC's special coverage of the new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th, in 90 seconds.
Febreze. I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to working from home, I gotta have every part of my house clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze air mist to leave every room smelling fresh and clean. With that done, it's time to get to work.
Here's to getting better with age.
Here's to beating these two every Thursday.
Help fuel today with Boost High Protein. Complete nutrition you need and the flavor you love. So here's to now. Now available Boost Max.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve, 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve, strength to last 12 hours.
America's Youth Mental Health Challenge requires bipartisan solutions.
And that's why we're partnering with a coalition to empower our future.
There are many complex factors that should all be considered.
Economic hardships, social isolation, overuse of devices, fear of violence, and bullying all play a role.
A complicated challenge needs a comprehensive solution.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's convene a conversation about empowering parents to keep their kids safe.
University of Maryland Global Campus believes in its students. You can get credit for life and job experience that translated to coursework and helps cut down the cost of school. UMGC helped me become a highly attractive candidate in the job market.
Joining me now, former classmate of Pope Leo XIV, Father Mark Francis. Father, it's really good to have you. We've been so fortunate to have quite a number of folks who know this Pope pretty well. And I think what's so amazing about that is because, when Chris Jansing, who's still here with me, announced that it's an American Pope, my first instinct was, he's got friends here, I'm sure, call them. And we're so lucky because we've been able to get so many. Please tell us your experience, your friendship with the man who now leads the Catholic Church.
Well, we first knew each other at our first year at Catholic Theological Union in Chicago. We were in the same theological reflection group. And from that moment on, I always appreciated Pope, I would say Bob. That's probably not the right way to refer to him now, but
Pope
get used
Bob
to
has
it.
a nice ring to it, though.
That's right. But Pope Leo is extraordinary in terms of his insight, his prayerfulness, and his concern for the poor. That was always very evident, even from the beginning. I always was amazed. In our reflection group, what we do, we came back to this group to talk about our own ministry. We had various assignments in schools or working with street people, this kind of thing. But Bob would come back with stories and his own basic understanding of how God was working with him in terms of trying to reach out to people and how God was speaking through these people to him. So there was always a dialogical nature to how he understand his role as a future minister, as a priest, and then, of course, this continued when he volunteered to go to Peru as a missionary.
You know, when I was in my 20s, I used to go to lunch with a bunch of friends who I worked with at, in broadcasting, and we would dream about where we would be one day. We're going to make it to the network. When you were talking, when you guys were coming up, did either one of you talk or dream about being the next pope?
That was never in the game plan. No, very much not. What was ironic in a certain sense was that years later, in the 2000s, Bob, or Pope Leo, was elected prior general of the Augustinians and lived in Rome, and I was elected superior general of the Viatorians, my religious congregation, and so we would see each other at least twice a year at the Union of Superiors General meeting that takes place in Rome. And then we'd occasionally meet on the same airplane going back to Chicago. So, our friendship kind of continued even into the 2000s. And again, he is very steady, very good judgment. The thing that I like about him, he also has a wry sense of humor. So he can see, he doesn't take himself too seriously, and takes what he's doing, though, seriously.
Do you have an idea of where you believe his first papal trip might be?
Oh, I couldn't even guess. My sense would be, given the signal he sent by choosing the name Leo, I think he is going to go to a country that is economically poor.
Yeah.
Probably in the global south.
I'm going to end with kind of a wry question in honor of the wry sense of humor. Do you think he's a Illuminati's fan or a Giordano's fan?
Oh, I couldn't even guess on that. I wouldn't want to put myself out on the line on that. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to make any enemies with an answer like that. Father, thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. And again, we feel so fortunate to have been able to speak to so many people who knew him well. Again, Pope Leo XIV, the first American, at least American-born Pope. Father, thank you. And coming up, reaction to the new Pope from political leaders in America, including the second Catholic president, Joe Biden, who just posted on X, Habemus Papam. Am I saying that right, Chris?
Habemus Papam.
Habemus Papam. May God bless Pope Leo XIV of Illinois. And Jill and I congratulate him and wish him success.
Don't let congestion take over. Afrin No Trip. Wow. Ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief.
Wow.
The wow is real.
When you list on apartments.com, renters will start coming out of the woodwork.
Great natural light.
Single family home? Yes, please. Does it have a dishwasher?
Ooh, look at these high ceilings.
Wow.
Spacious.
Hardwood floor.
But I got one question.
Are utilities included?
Apartments.com.
The place to list a place.
If you're living with diabetes, I'll tell you the same thing I tell my patients. Getting on Dexcom G7 is one of the easiest ways to take better control of your diabetes and help protect yourself from the long-term health problems it can cause. This small wearable replaces finger sticks, lowers A1C, and it's covered by Medicare.
Not managing your diabetes really affects your health for the future. The older you get, the more complications you're going to see.
I knew I couldn't ignore my diabetes anymore because it was causing my eyesight to go bad.
Before the Dexcom G7, doctor's appointments were not something I